The question of whether AI can accurately detect mental health risks has become one of the most urgent discussions in modern psychology and technology. The idea feels promising. Systems that can analyze language patterns, shifts in tone, search behaviors, or changes in typing rhythm and potentially flag when someone is heading toward a depressive episode, a crisis, or even suicidal thoughts. It sounds like a breakthrough that could save lives, something faster, more objective, and less emotionally burdened than a human observer trying to interpret subtle signs. And in fairness, this technology has real strengths. AI tools can detect patterns people often overlook. They can flag sudden linguistic markers of hopelessness, withdrawal, or agitation. They can analyze speech pauses, sleep patterns on a device, or message frequency in ways that no clinician could feasibly track every minute of the day. For individuals who hide their distress from friends and family, this kind of passive monitoring might be the only early signal that something is wrong. AI does bring potential for earlier intervention, and that is a meaningful positive. But despite the promise, the nuance is crucial. These systems are still far from reliable enough to stand alone, and the risks of misjudgment are significant. One of the biggest limitations is accuracy. AI models often struggle to distinguish between genuine mental distress and normal emotional fluctuation. A person might write a dark joke, vent after a bad day, or express sadness in an artistic way, and the system may overreact, flagging it as a crisis when it isn't. False positives might sound harmless, but they can have real consequences. Unnecessary emergency responses, fear, embarrassment, or even a breakdown in trust if someone feels surveilled or misunderstood. On the other hand, false negatives, when the system fails to detect real danger, can be even more devastating. AI can miss the quiet, internalized forms of despair that don't show up in words or behaviors easily captured by algorithms. Human suffering doesn't always follow predictable patterns, and no dataset can fully reflect the complexity of suicidal ideation or severe mental illness. Another warning is that AI systems are only as good as the data they're trained on. Many models rely on limited or biased samples, meaning they may be less accurate for certain cultures, age groups, genders, or communication styles. A sarcastic teenager, a stoic adult, a neurodivergent speaker, or someone from a culture that expresses emotions differently may be misclassified simply because the model doesn't understand their norms. And because these systems analyze surface patterns rather than personal history, they may flag risk in someone who isn't truly struggling while missing danger in someone who communicates distress subtly or inwardly. The illusion of precision becomes a danger. People may believe the AI is more capable than it truly is, leading to misplaced confidence that the system will catch it, when in reality, the system's understanding is shallow. Ethical concerns layer on top of this. Mental health risk detection requires handling extremely sensitive data, private messages, voice recordings, browsing patterns, and the stakes of misuse are enormous. Who has access to the information? How long is it stored? Can it be used in ways the user didn't agree to? Even when companies claim to use anonymous or safe data, users often don't fully understand the trade-offs. There's also the question of consent. If a platform automatically analyzes your messages for risk signals, is that support or surveillance? And if an AI flags someone incorrectly, especially in a school or workplace context, it can lead to stigma, mislabeling, or overreactions that do more harm than good. Simulated safety is not the same as real safety, and people may assume the system is protective enough to rely on, even when it's not. Yet, it's important to balance these warnings with the very real potential AI offers. In clinical settings, AI tools can assist professionals by highlighting patterns that support a more thorough evaluation. They can help overburdened healthcare systems identify patients who may need quicker follow-up. They can provide an extra layer of awareness for therapists, especially when clients struggle to articulate their feelings. AI-powered voice analysis has shown promise in detecting depressive or manic shifts earlier than traditional assessments might catch. And for users who may not feel ready to talk to a human about their struggles, these tools can act as a preliminary signal that something deserves attention. When used as a companion to clinical care, not a replacement, they can genuinely support early detection and save lives by prompting timely human intervention. But the essential truth remains: AI can assist, but it cannot understand. It can analyze signals, but it cannot feel context. It can observe patterns, but it cannot grasp the complexity of a person's internal world. Human oversight isn't just helpful, it is mandatory. A trained clinician can ask nuanced questions, consider personal history, read emotional subtext, and respond with empathy grounded in real understanding. No algorithm can match that level of contextual judgment. The safest and most ethical approach is to see AI as a tool that strengthens the safety net, not as the net itself. In the end, the science is clear. AI can detect certain markers of mental health risk with useful accuracy, and its potential continues to grow. But it is not a standalone diagnostic instrument, and treating it as such is dangerous. The promise is real, but so are the limitations. When human expertise, ethical oversight, and AI assistance work together, the result can genuinely enhance mental health care. But when AI is trusted too deeply or used without context, the very risks it aims to prevent can become more likely.